Hi, I'm Mike Corrende. I'm here with Max Gonzalez at the Portland OC. We'll be working on this container chassis. It was involved in a pretty bad accident. The bogie was bent and the front axle is damaged.
Please remember to be as safe as possible when operating a forklift and be aware of your surroundings. With the wiring and air lines disconnected, we were able to push in the rear pins and easily lift the chassis off the subframe. As you can see here, there was some extensive damage done to it. Next, Max is going to describe what we need to remove to proceed.
Oh, really?
It's just got 2 bolts right here.
Well, I was looking to see if there's any damage anywhere.
Oh, no, I think we're good.
Oh, and we got the airline that we got to remove right there.
Well, if we take the air tank out and we twist it, we could probably just let it dangle on the ground.
Oh,
right?
Have them get a knife or something and start cutting zip ties.
I asked him to bring me a pair of...
there we go. There's enough slack in that. Right there. Should be plenty to get it out.
But
the air tanks are both connected tandemly.
Yeah, so we could disconnect it, twist it a little bit, and just let it dangle there in the middle. Less things to take apart. You don't want to take apart every single harness. So we'll take the bolts out. We'll do the same thing with the ABS module. Take these 2 bolts out, just lay it there in the middle. These 2 lines, we could remove them, pull them out, leave them laying there in the middle. The trailer tire inflation, same thing. Open up the box, loosen up the 2 7/16s, take it apart, leave it lay there in the middle. Same thing with the this pressure valve. Take it loose right here, leave it lay. You could take it loose from right there.
Yeah, because it's
on
the back side.
And just leave it lay there in the middle. Once all that is disconnected and these 4 leaf spring bolts are disconnected, then we'll have to get the big 1.8" to do the big nuts right at the bottom for the torque arms. So we take these out and we take this one out. In the front, the same thing. We can just lift up this chassis, take it out, put it in the dumpster, pick up that chassis, set it up in here.
With all of those items removed, we had a difficult time with the torque arm bolts. That's because the front axle was bent and twisted so badly, we decided to cut the spring hangers with a torch. Then we used a chain and the forklift to remove the subframe assembly from the axles. Here you'll see everything set aside to be used on the new subframe minus this front axle that was bent. Here's the new subframe assembly, which you might make note that it is slightly different than the existing one. I'll explain that in a moment. Because I did want to make mention that we had to unbolt the pin assemblies from the new subframe, install the pin assemblies into the main frame section, then rebolt the subframe to the pin assemblies. It made reassembly a lot easier. Here's where I wanted to talk about the old subframe assembly with the mud flap brackets and the rear air tank hangers on the rear side. Super easy. All you got to do is make a mark. Once you have your mark, you can cut that part off of the existing subframe, set it aside because you will be welding those on to your new subframe so you can mount the rear air tank and have a place to bolt the mud flaps and brackets. Here's what it looks like when they're matched up. Maybe a little cutting, grinding. It's time to weld them on. Please do the same with the air tank brackets, the TPMS brackets, and any other brackets you need that you've taken off of the old subframe. Weld them on to the new subframe. And once you've gotten everything welded back together, welded on, air tanks reinstalled, wiring and air lines reattached, torque arm bolts and your rebound bolts installed, be sure to check the alignment and you should be good to go.
Thanks for watching, and as always, stay safe. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your training team.